alrighty. What do we got in the picnic basket, boo-boo? All right, tonight, main focus is on 0-point energy. Free energy. We're gonna dig right into it. So, it's funny what you find later down the road. These wooden blocks I cut about 4 years ago, I put notes on them. And this one happens to be what charges are on these objects here. So you got, these are plus charge. You got air, skin, human hands, asbestos, rabbit fur, glass, human hair, mica, nylon, wood, lead, sulfur, silk, aluminum, paper, and cotton. They're all positively charged. On the negative charge is steel, wool, lucite, seal and wax, amber, rubber balloon, hard rubber, mylar, nickel, copper, silver, brass, synthetic rubber, gold, platinum, sulfur. Remember that, gold and platinum are negatively charged. Polyurethane, acrylic, poly something, silicone, Teflon, silicone rubber. Okay? Make a note, guys. Well, I made an environment here. This is going to be step one on the environment. We are going to incorporate a chamber. That'll be a vacuum chamber, so I can have a positive or negative pressure in the chamber. We'll have 2 chambers, so we could have 2 different environments on pressure far as the indoor and chamber. But this one here, I decided to go with flipping the poles. So like, you know how the clouds go by, and the clouds could be the bottom of the cloud and the top of the cloud are your 2 charges, and they can be flipped. So that means the ground, which is like a DC battery, but one like part, and that one part would be an electrode, which would be the ground surface, but any actually thing pointed out of the ground would be the electrode. Us, people, buildings, trees, so on, so on. If it's conductive, the better. So when the cloud goes by, it controls what the environment on the ground becomes, whether it's a positive charge or negative charge. And what I wanted to always do is create an environment that I can control that cloud going across. So right now I have this top cloud, I'll call it, as a negative charge, and this electrode here would be the positive charge. And that's the environment for right now. We'll be able to rotate it down the road, and we'll have some vacuum, and we're going to go deeper and deeper in this. And I also want to incorporate a couple things with this. One is sort of like a antenna that would be tuned to something, which I believe could be tuned to say Earth frequency, but more like a radiant antenna. But just leave it there. And then also for sound vibrations, but it's just the frame based right now, and I have a center core still that's in it. And obviously it's a down the road project, but I put it up because I'm feeling we're gonna have to incorporate sound in this environment, because when we deal with sound, I have these raw piezo crystals, and that's one there, and that's one there. Yes. All right, I'll be right there. These piezo crystals in vacuum will allow, we'll call it ethereal space. And in that space, we can have a heartbeat. and that heartbeat would be similar to like the planet Earth, to where there's space in between the ether that's sort of out of bounds for ether. There's some more compounding issues going on. So this will allow stuff in vacuum to be able to pick up a signal that I can transpose from one spot to another with two piezo crystals that are in vacuum, that doesn't have to deal with electromagnetic waves. They're going to deal with electrostatics. So guys, let's go ahead and get to the chase. Hopefully you enjoy the video. I got some objects down here. I got these magnets that are opposing each other, a piece of copper in the middle, put tape around it, but basically they won't go together. And I have those there. I got some LEDs here that are lighting up wirelessly, okay? And also I have glass. I got some fur, I got some sawdust, a little plastic, I got some gold flake and silver flake, okay? And I got some rabbit fur. We're gonna start off right now with 0 point energy. Right now, the way this environment is set up, I'm using a flyback. I wrapped it 20 times, I center tapped it. Center tap is the positive coming in from the voltage, 12 volt DC. And I'm pulsing the DC with a 2N3055. And I figured out how to slow down the burning up of all my 2N3055s as I went after where the base is connected. Not only do I have a resistor, I have a capacitor in there along with one more resistor, which ain't doing anything, but it's there on the back end. Sort of like a back end. You need something there that's gonna, if you touch this with your finger, it burns your finger. So not burned so much by temperature, because it does that, but it also burns by the switching on and off. And that's what we're dealing with, is switching on and off, 12 volts, 60 watts, so that's some good power there. Your amps times your volts, 12 volts. That's how you get your 60. Then we're throwing in this flyback, which we have tuned to the secondary, is what I figured out what the primary would do. So I got this in resonance. Now, this is acting like a plate, a capacitance plate, and this is acting like a capacitance plate. So the environment right now has two capacitance plates. A couple things I want to go over with you. I'm going to read a little bit of this first so you can get what we're talking about with 0 point energy. And secondly, we're going to do a couple of experiments there that is pretty mind-blowing. So let's start off here and let's get to this. Pardon my reading, but I got to put this out there. All right. So we're going to start off with the ether, okay? And we'll end up with 0 point energy, and we'll end up with something in regards to mass is in motion, okay? So the ether is a dense stationary universal medium which fills all space. It appears to be dynamic relative to Earth. Because Earth is moving thousands of miles per hour through space, the ether is normally electrically neutral, is ultra fine, and also penetrates all solid matter. There is also an ultra high frequency radiation, normally in the equilibrium, called 0 point radiation, ZPR, which is omnidirectional, penetrates the ether, and represents ubiquitous electromagnetic radiation in its finest dense form, which in conjunction with the ether conserves universal perpetual motion. The ether in conjunction with the normally equilibrated ZPR is in the source of all matter and force. Energy does not exist in physical form, but is the ability to do work, which is so true. which is equal to force over time. The word energy is a convenient fiction like time, which is an arbitrarily measured the rate of motion of matter through the ether-filled space. All events occur in the present, and past and future are merely metaphors. Electromagnetic disturbances in the ether extract energy from the ZPR, which is explainable only by the ether theory. This free energy, which is virtually unlimited and universal at work, creates by the perpetual motion of matter, the perpetual exchange of stronger and weaker forces through which the equilibrium of the universe is maintained. The sum of total of all processes equals zero. Just like you get white light, the sum of all colors. Since all solid matter is continuously hurling through space, always in motion, it is always subject to the etheric wind, the CPR interactions. These effects are not perceived except during changes in the orientation of mass and its velocity. All mass and space have dielectric properties. Differences in dielectric properties cause changes in the electromagnetic displacement within mass and the etheric wind. Earth's electric field creates dielectric displacements. Effects within ether and mass and Earth's electric field. The difference between dielectric displacement within a mass and dielectric displacement outside the mass is the etheric wind. Creates a downforce in the direction of the negative polarity, and the etheric winds blows through a mass. This is called gravity. This is the space we have here. Is negative, positive, and we're talking about a energy of high frequency and high voltage, which creates these etheric winds. And that's what we were seeing, especially in my past video. If you guys haven't read it, this is a Tesla book that's on Tesla preference. Nikola Tesla, original 1875 plan, introduction, occult of ether theory, electropropulsion, cause of inverse square of law of gravity. This is a great read, guys. You just read down what I got here. J.J. Thompson's electromagnetic momentum. Tesla shows up. Cosmic motion, local momentum, ancestral movement. Work your way down, work your way down. Tesla secrecy, Tesla dynamic theory of gravity. Bam. Okay? Get it. It's not expensive. It's dirt cheap. Get it on Amazon. Let's go ahead and get to the nitty gritty here. Where do you want to start? Let's start off with this. This goes to show you that we have two plates here with air in between it, and basically it reminds me, this test here, experiment reminds me of a MIT video I seen a long time ago in regards to a capacitor and a dissectable capacitor. So we're going to stick a piece of glass here, and the object here with this test is we're going to charge this with positive, charge this with negative, these two plates. Look at the spacing we have in between. And we're going to put a charge in the glass. And I'm going to show you the charges in the glass by sticking a LED in between the glass and the metal. And then we're going to turn on the, we'll turn the apparatus on, we'll see the light up, then we'll turn it off, then I'll go ahead and touch it and you'll see the light go back on. And that goes to show you that the metal is moving the energy that's stored up in both sides, the two sides of the glass. Ready, guys? So we'll go ahead and we'll turn the light off for this. I know you can still see it.